David Beckham once said about the Bowers Wilkins Pi8.
You buy wireless earbuds either with your head or with your heart.
Namaste with DHRME. Dudes hating Ronaldo, Messi, and e-cigarettes.
But not Beckham.
So I never really got the Bowers and Wilkins products, you know. It was like, they were always too expensive for me and I was never quite satisfied. And then I thought, we had this discussion before we started this video. Are we thinking too much with our heads, you know?
Yeah.
Are we thinking about the best ANC, the best sound, the best performance, the best battery life?
It's not
not thinking with our hearts.
Yeah, it's not about all of those things, is it?
No, it isn't.
But they do a lot of things right, even when you're thinking with your head.
Yes. This time.
Yes. We've had a few occasions where that didn't go so well. So,
No.
Okay.
So let's rattle off some facts.
Let's do that. A couple of things. Okay. First of all, the price. $399. That puts it in definitely the highest segment of earbuds that we've had on this channel. They come in 4 different colors. We have them in the fancy jade green.
And that's also a little bit about the heart aspect. They really, really look good.
Yes.
They look good in your ear, they look good on B-roll, they look good on camera.
Yeah.
The color we have here, jade green you talked about, it has this nice gold kind of contrast letter on it, and the earbuds.
Yeah, look at that. You said let's talk about facts. There's maybe opinions, but still.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's just a fact, I'm
It
sorry.
is. Yeah.
It's not an opinion. If you think they're not good looking, you're just incorrect.
You've heard it from him, not from me.
You don't think they look good?
Oh, yeah, they do. They do, yes. Fine. Okay. Couple of other facts. IP54 dust and water resistant. Pretty strong rating. Just the earbuds, not the case. Keep those safe.
Yeah.
You get 4 sizes of silicone tips, right? So you got medium on there by default, but then in the box you get 3 other sizes from extra small, small, and large.
Yeah. There's something interesting about these though.
Yeah.
The small seems to be much smaller than some other smalls.
Yeah.
So the small is too small, I think, for some
Yeah.
years. So you might be having a bigger gap here between the small and the medium as compared to other buds.
Correct. And what's also good to mention are they are silicone and they're rounded, not oval shaped tips. Comfort and fit. Silicone tips, they're round, great for fit, and I felt that. Stayed in place. Comfort, mixed bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, that's going to be very, very personal, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone's ears are different. For me, left one was okay. Right one really started hurting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could really feel it on the inside. And that's generally the case with me for rounded tips. Great seal, great fit, but not always the best in terms of comfort.
And the weird thing they say is for mic performance, that these need to kind of be like horizontal, right? Like this.
Yeah.
So not a bit like this, not
In
a
your
bit
ear.
like this.
Yeah.
In your ear. And you see all these pictures of David Beckham, who had that initial quote.
Yeah.
But when I wear this, it's more like, it's always a bit angled. So I'm not sure how you can, ow.
And he lost
Ow.
his left ear.
This is very painful, and not in a nice way.
Sometimes you have to pay for pain.
So this is fine. Like at this angle, I'm okay.
I had the same. It was also angled that
So
way.
it has to be angled. So I don't understand why they're saying it should be more, you know, horizontal or parallel to the ground. But anyway,
Cool.
that's comfort.
Couple of other facts. Battery life, advertised at 6.5 hours with ANC on. We tested it, got 5 hours, 24 minutes with ANC on, and on the aptX codec.
Yeah.
Speaking of codecs, you got SPC, AAC, and you got aptX. Adaptive, lossless, that's the set.
I think you're too much with your head, man.
Yeah, they're all, I know, we'll get there.
Ow.
Let's go. Okay, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
He's got a broken heart now. And there's wireless charging as well. Expected.
It's
This
$400.
$400. It's better.
I think they can throw that in.
And I think that it's good that they threw in wear sensor as well, which you can turn off and on in the app. So it does come with an app.
Very basic wear sensor.
Yeah.
It can only play and pause your audio. So like you have 2 buds in, you take off one,
Yep.
it pauses the audio, but this guy still has ANC on.
Yes.
Whereas with most other modern
Takes
earbuds,
into
this goes
transparency.
into transparency.
Yeah,
So
that is true. Yeah. Multi-point support. Stays connected to 2 devices at the same time. You can see your list of devices in the app and you can remove them if you like from there. It worked for $400. They didn't throw in Pull Connect though. So that again, I'm thinking with my head here.
Okay.
Cannot do that. And the final fact, good to know, it's an audio retransmission case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
for,
nice.
For those of you who don't know what that is, I think we have one on the table that's a good example, is the JBL Tour Pro 3. And there's another one which isn't on the table right now, but that's the Jabra Elite 10 Gen 2 and the Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 2.
Yeah.
That comes with that.
But also this one.
Oh yeah, and this one, and they're older, the predecessor. Yeah. Pi7S2. You take the charging case, you plug it in with either of the 2 cables that they provide, either the Type-C to Type-C or Type-C to 3.5 millimeter. And then you can plug this into any audio source and it'll transmit the audio to your earbuds wirelessly. And that has some upsides for quality and
That has some upsides, especially for, I think, I'm guessing you get the best quality streaming if you use that, but also really easy to switch, making some chirping sounds.
Was that it? Oh, I was
Or
wondering.
was it a bird outside?
I don't know. I thought it was coming from outside.
It gives you good quality, but also it gives you reliability because once you plugged it in, that's the only thing it's connecting to. However, when I was connected to a phone via Bluetooth and I connected the case, kind of acted a little bit weird sometimes. It was still preferring the phone over the connected case. So something to keep in mind. That might not necessarily work very well.
We're talking about annoyances with this. So these are bud style with touch controls. Pretty responsive, but a second, half a second lag between tapping them and going. And you really have to hit it in the center, I've noticed. So anywhere around the edges won't register a tap.
No swiping, no squeezing.
None of that. None of that. And you've got your normal, let's say, play pause, track control, that's your single, double, triple tap, all of that. And then you got a long press. And what you see in the app is what you can customize for the long press.
Yeah.
So simply put, you can select from two presets. So either ANC Voice Assistant or volume control.
Volume control. That's kind of silly.
Yes. I want ANC and volume control at the same time, as in, need to be available from the buds and not have to choose this way.
Yeah. And maybe somebody else wants voice assistant and volume control.
Yeah.
So they're kind of making you choose.
They're making you choose. And we know for a fact that there are buds out there that can do everything. So this is no excuse. Very weird implementation, this. I don't know why. Hard for me to choose.
You're thinking too much.
I know I'm thinking too much with my head. I know.
You don't think too much.
It's my fault.
Now start thinking with our heads a little bit more. We're going to listen to the ANC performance of this.
Yeah.
And we come back and we tell you what we thought of it. Right.
Cool. Before we talk about how these guys did, let's talk about their predecessor, these guys, the Pi7S2. They were, for ANC and transparency, not fantastic. They were very average.
Yeah.
So the ANC was tier B, the transparency was tier C.
Yeah.
Now, with the Pi8,
Yeah.
that has changed quite a bit. They are both for ANC it's tier A. Did a really good job at canceling out, the low end, the voices as well.
You were actually doubting between S and A.
I was. And then when I isolated both and I retested it, I could tell that it wasn't as good as, for example, the Techniques AZ100.
Yeah.
They were tier S on both. So they were clearly better at, suppressing more of the low end and slightly more of the voices as well. So again, Bowers and Wilkins, not bad. We always recommend, if you're looking for good ANC, tier S and tier A, you cannot go wrong. And that's the case with this as well. I'll be very happy with that. Yeah.
None of them is Bose level, but
No.
that's another thing. This is tier S plus guard level.
Yeah, for sure. And just to be clear, transparency on the Bowers and Wilkins is also tier A.
Okay.
Yeah, bit of suppression of the low end and across frequencies actually, but it's fine. It gives you a good idea of what's happening. Yeah, and there was no white noise, surprisingly.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Nice.
So maybe they've optimized for that, Usually we see a lot of buds that go tier S and they're just piping in everything, but then...
I wonder if some reviewers complained about their ANC or transparency in the last version.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Did notice a little bit of occlusion though. So while I had these earbuds in my ear, in transparency I was talking, I could kind of hear my own voice through my skull. That was there. Then in the app though, it's very clean. Very clean. I kind of like it. It's just ANC, transparency, off. That is it. You don't have to click on ANC and then see a slider with like 20 steps and go into, transparency and then have one for wind noise and for this and that and all of that. None of that.
How's the wind noise?
Was okay. You heard it a little bit, but it was fine. In both transparency and ANC.
Not bad.
Yeah. So none of the fine grain control. Then the other thing is you can cycle through the modes from your buds if you have that, that control scheme activated. But you can only toggle between ANC on and transparency. That is it. You can't go to off.
Yeah.
If you would like to. I personally don't. I like the implementation as it is.
Yeah.
But for the folks who do, maybe.
Yeah. Like I wanted to test the sound on ANC off versus ANC on.
Yeah.
But I had connected via the case, so I could not access the app. So that's why you only see sound measurements for ANC on. Sorry, guys. But we'll come to the sound in a minute. Let's talk about sound of your voice when you're making calls using these buds.
All right, this is a mic test outdoors with cars in the background for the Bowers and Wilkins Pi8. Here we go. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. And now a little softly. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, this is a windy mic test on the Bowers and Wilkins Pi8. You can see the wind meter here. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. And now a little bit softly. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3.
So we did test these in real life and we did test them on the tests you heard as well. I think they're pretty decent. The voice stayed audible at all levels with all noise.
Yep.
Sometimes you do hear a bit of processing in the wind, a little bit in the beginning you could hear it. In the noise, sometimes it kind of dies in and dies out. But the voice was audible at all times. So I would give these pretty high rating for phone calls.
Yeah.
However, in quiet conditions, because I was talking to you this morning and you were typing on your mechanical keyboard and it was very clackety. I could hear it very, very clearly, the keyboard sound. We also did a test with crisps, chips for the Americans.
Now a test with keyboard clacking in the background, and I'm going to continue talking to you while I'm typing. Do you hear the keyboard and do you hear my voice clearly? Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's do another use case. Rowan, crisps. Do you hear the bag of crisps? They're actually a bag of nuts. Who cares? Do you hear my voice? Do you?
But that was a bit better than the clacking of the keyboard, I thought. So overall, very usable, very good in terms of phone calls. But these have fuckman controls, or do they?
Barely, barely. You can answer, yes, you can answer hang up, we casually say in a lot of videos. But let's just add a bit of nuance there. You can answer easily by tapping. You cannot hang up easily, though.
I think somebody at Bowers and Wilkins was traumatized because they hung up on a call by mistake. Almost no way to hang up on purpose.
No.
Like you have to really...
So just to explain, the way you hang up is by, let me get this right, triple tapping, and on the triple tap, you have to hold. So I was on a call, tried to do that, I gave up. I was like, okay, just grab my phone and hang up, or I'll ask the guy, can you hang up?
Yeah.
You know? Annoying. But at least you will not hang up accidentally. So that's a positive. Let's look at the bright side. You can do ANC toggle while you're on a call, so that's good. If you've got that selected, if you have the volume scheme selected, then you can change volume as well while you're on a call.
Actually, it's kind of good because like if I was on a call and I just wanted to change volume, I feel confident that I'm not going to hang up by mistake.
True.
So in that sense, yes, I get it.
Yeah, because a lot of earbuds have double tap as the hang up and
single
tap
tap
as the volume. You're trying to increase volume, it's like, hello. Sound. Like I said, aptX lossless, adaptive, and you got your basic codecs. But these be loud. Not sure if Bowers and Wilkins was always like this or after Brexit, but the EU got nothing on them because they are going chi-fi with their, volume levels, because the minimum was too loud for me. So if I'm and I'm a little bit sound, volume sensitive maybe. So in quiet environments, I'm listening to music, I want to go lower than it can go.
Yeah.
So I'm not using more than like 30% of its volume. That's how loud these guys can get.
And this is the volume I was listening at.
This is my listening volume on the Mac. Yeah, I got quite a bit to go.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like the AirPods at minimum volume, I can barely hear them.
Yeah.
And the Bowers and Wilkins minimum volume, like, fine.
Yeah. So if you're hard of hearing, this is perfect. But if you're not, then you can't make them softer.
Yeah. And if you want like very chill background music, don't.
Not happening.
No, use your phone or something.
Yeah.
But the sound, everybody's probably waiting for the sound.
Yeah. All right, bye.
We've been DHRME. No, the sound is good.
Yeah?
It's good. I like the sound. I've been critical about Bowers and Wilkins in the past, not because they sound bad, but just because the initial tuning, it was very bass heavy, and everybody said, what are you talking about? And, you can't hear and you're deaf and stuff like that, which is all kind of true. But now I have a graph to prove that I was right. This is a graph of the Pi7S2. Just look at that bass. And this is the graph on the Pi8. Was I right or was I right?
Facts.
Yes. So these sound very good. I like the balance. I like how they're tuned. I like them for rock. I like them for metal. I like them for EDM. I like them for all the genres I tested with pop, with voices. I sometimes felt that they sounded a little bit thin maybe on like treble. It's really a nitpick, and maybe with the aptX lossless or aptX adapter that works better. But overall, yes, I certainly like them for sound. Do I like them for sound for $400? I am thinking with my heart and I'm saying yes.
There we go.
There we go. So these are good sounding buds. I understand where the hype is coming from.
For sure. You guys really bullied us into this one again.
I mean, you can just show them, like, let's put a screenshot of the comments for Pi8. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we get it. For sound, these make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And they're definitely, bringing a lot to the table for ANC, for calls, and for looks.
Damn, they look good.
Yeah, they look good. Would you really buy them for $399?
Look, if I wanted something to splurge on, I think people do want that sometimes, right? You buy an expensive meal, an expensive car, or whatever.
Yeah.
These are kind of the buds for that, right?
Yeah.
They look sexy.
You're making a statement for sure.
Yeah, and making a statement. But also, like, this time, thankfully, they've nailed the
Yes.
head as well.
The basics.
That sounds wrong. Nailed the head. Ooh, painful or pleasurable. Whatever. This time, they've actually nailed the basics. And Bowers Wilkins is famous for a problem, which is connectivity issues. And we haven't used these buds for so long that we can confidently say the one connectivity issue I mentioned. So let's hope they fix that, because that was very annoying.
Yeah.
But other than that, I get it.
Yeah.
Is it $150, as you said, for David Beckham's salary and the rest for the earbuds? Yes, maybe. But you heard the quote from David Beckham.
Yeah.
It was completely not fabricated by us at all. No.
It's totally from the heart. Makes sense. As, regardless of the price, these are good buds. For sure. Still a lot of money. And I don't know, I can't bring my heart to spending that much money on these buds.
Yeah, just let's look at some of the other buds, right? Let's look at this guy, the JBL Tour Pro 3. While you get sexy looks here, you get a sexy screen here.
Yep.
Also has problems with controls, also limited controls.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer these for sound. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What about this guy? Some of the best noise cancelling in the business.
Yeah.
They had a lot of problems when they came out,
Uh-huh.
and they fixed them all.
Yeah, they're good
So
with firmware.
credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Bose, doing well.
Also a simple app. Yeah.
What about this guy?
Ooh.
Cult favorite. We got shat on by you guys for not enjoying the sound. But that's fine. We can live with that. We're big boys. But I think these are fantastic buds.
Yep.
And $100 less?
Oh, so feature packed.
$100 less than these guys?
Yeah.
They don't have to pay Beckham, so
No.
I guess that's where they save money.
Correct. And then we have some of the, ecosystem favorites. For example, the Galaxy Buds Pro, but Galaxy Buds 3 Pro from Samsung. Also great. Feature packed, especially if you're in the Samsung ecosystem.
Yeah.
These are $250, discounted very often to $200. So half the price.
Yeah. Another emotional purchase, which is, yes, I have a case for my case.
Aw.
Don't judge me. This is the AirPods Pro 2, and another ecosystem favorite. And this is again more of a heart, not a head kind of situation.
Well, they do a lot of good things.
Yeah, but that's not why people buy them. So yeah, there's quite a few options out there, guys. If you want to save $100, sure, don't buy the Bowers Wilkins.
Yeah.
But if you want to feel rich,
These are it.
these might be the ones to get.
I walk around with these outside. I'm feeling rich
Yeah, right. Living a rich life.
and afraid. That
Welcome, Ramit Sethi, to the podcast.
All right, let me explain the fire movement to you guys. Channel's taking another direction.
All right. We didn't get these buds sent out to us.
Yep.
We bought them with our own money, but that helps us stay objective, stay independent, and also brands can send us products. We don't mind. But other than that, we'd like to thank you guys.
Yeah, all of you guys are viewers, subscribers,
You too.
but especially our patrons and YouTube members, the people who are paying us so that we can pay for such expensive products and keep David Beckham rich.
Yes.
You're
And a
welcome.
Special shout out to our popsicles, our icicles, our tested member tiers, and our fuck month tiers. These three beautiful people.
Gamma Panda, Paula, and Rachel. Thank you very, very much.
You've been bending it like Beckham.
We've been DHRME.
Do we?
You've been waiting to say that.
No, I just
oh,
came
you
up
just
with
came
it
up.
right now.
David Beckham once said about the Bowers Wilkins Pi8.
Okay.
David Beckham once said about the Bowers Wilkins Pi8. You infected me. David Beckham once